In our family in those days, there was a lot of expectations. One of them from my father was the military. I was really, really tired of everybody expecting something of me, and I couldn't live my own life. And that's when things started to change. One of the most difficult places to be trans is military, because you're never, never alone.
Why did you join?
Well, number one, I was male. Number two, there was a war going on, the Vietnam War. I didn't want to get drafted. I joined the Air Force. And it was a family expectation. I was in 1970. It was the first weekend or second weekend I was there when I went to the NCO club. It was when we met. She introduced herself as Anna, and I says, "Can I call you Ann?" And she says, "No, my name is Anna, or Anna." Okay, no problem. That was where we met. Now we've been together ever since. Shortly after I was promoted to sergeant, decided I was going to do something. You have to do something. You can't do nothing, because then it all gets bottled up, and pretty soon that bottle is going to explode. And one day I just went down and I bought a couple of pieces of underwear and this green dress. I had found the dress shop. It was nice. And it was a solid bodice, had sheer overlays on the skirt, and it had long sheer sleeves. And I had it in a bag and everything, and I went to the Heidelberg. I was alone. And I went into the restroom, and where I tried it on. Well, you can't be in a restaurant's a restroom forever. So I take everything back off again, put it all back in the bag. And when I got to Anna's house, I could spend a little more time in the bathroom with it. But still, you can't go over 10, maybe push it to 15 minutes, and they're going to start wondering what happened. Well, to get rid of it, I gave it to her. She figured it was pretty ugly. I says, okay, so we went downtown back to that dress shop and exchanged it for another dress, which happened to be green, that Anna liked. So that's where the green dress went. But it was, had it for a day, and only totally, I was in it 20 minutes out of that day, maybe, if you add all the minutes up.
What did it feel like putting that dress on in the restroom?
Here we go with the word of luscious again. A new high.
In what way?
It's just a relief off your mind, off your shoulders. A little bit of the pain goes away. Because it hurts to hide your entire life. At my job with Cassie, cataloging and standardization office, one day they put a computer on my desk and we hooked to the internet. And I took advantage. They told us one thing: don't go any place you don't want to see on 60 Minutes. Otherwise it's open. I knew of Tri-Ess. So I went in and I found their homepage. I went in there and I found their members. And the one at the top of the list was Beverly Christine Barnes. So I clicked on her name, got her email address, and I sent her a help letter. Literally. I asked for help. Can you find me an organization in Michigan something, anything. And she come back almost immediately with an email. Later on that day, I went home with a list. I had printed, there was a single printer. So I had to push the print button and run to the printer and get mine before anybody else read it. So I got home, I went through the list, and I found a brand new chapter of Tri-Ess in Michigan. And that is where Beverly became my first big sister. They help you with the navigation through the world of the crossdresser. I found the chapter in Michigan, and I met some people there, and I met one in particular. Jenny Mason was the name that she went by. And she says, when you get ready to dress, you send me an email, and you're welcome in my house to change. She says, I'll help you. So that's where my second big sister came. The next month, May, showed up at Jenny's house and helped me with the makeup, so forth, getting dressed and everything for the first time. And I remember one thing I asked, first time I've ever asked it in my life. I asked Jenny, will you please zip me up in the dress?
What did your dress look like?
Black, long, I have it still. Had lots of buttons down the front, and it had a slit, because I had a full slip underneath, and I had to modify the slip to match the slit in front of the dress. The lace I sewed on there, and the little rosettes I sewed on it, made it pretty. You remember the secrets underneath. You're pretty underneath as you are on the outside. I remember that. And then we got in Jenny's car, and she took me around Grand Rapids, went to Diversions, might have gone to Rumors.
How did it feel stepping out the first time?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
A new high again.
Yeah.
This was a first. Stepping out of the front door into the daylight, outside, don't have to hide anymore. And we went to the meeting, and when I got there and I walked in, all the other ladies asked, who are you? And I said, I'm Tessa. You're that who was here last month? I says, yes. They says, we'd never known it. Such a change. Got back to Grand Rapids to Jenny's place, and Jenny says, now comes the hard part. Putting Tessa back in the box.
Mm-hmm. Was it hard?
That's when it dawned on me one day, we're not going to do that anymore. There was a real nice storefront. It was in Detroit. I don't know if it exists anymore, but it's called Tina Marie. And they had some wonderful lingerie. That's where I got a nice waist cincher, some panties, bras, and all kinds of lingerie, black. And the story that goes with that is one day when I hit the garage door button and the door opened, it was all cut in pieces on the garage floor. My spouse had cut it all up. She found it, but she thought I was seeing another woman. Well, little did she know there was another woman. I am the other woman. I was in the process of writing my story, Memories of Mine. And I had an end table, and I kept it inside of a magazine in the bottom of the drawer, way in the back. And she apparently heard opening, closing drawers and so forth, so one day she just decided to snoop. And she found it and she read it. And she called me up at work and told me that whatever happened, she wasn't going to be responsible, and then hung up. That evening we talked. I told her there were 3 things that I needed. A place to store my clothes. I needed to keep them clean, and I needed to keep them repaired. And somewhere in there she mentioned, if you start this, I know you're going to go all the way. And the thoughts went through my head that you're probably right.